Hello, everybody, and welcome back into Off the Boards. I'm fine, Josh. That way is Ryan. We're Ethanless again today. Unfortunately, we think Ethan might have the vid, so let's hope Ethan gets better and he'll be back soon. So, the hockey's pretty good. We're coming to the end of the year. I mean, playoffs are coming soon, Some people like to get excited for the playoffs. Not this guy, but, some teams are excited for it. I much prefer the regular season. I mean, Ryan, I don't know, you're happy about it. Your team's not even going to the dance.
I'll be happy 2 weeks in the playoffs and the Leafs are. That's when I'll be happy.
What if they make it out of the first round? Statistically, it has to happen at some point. There's no friggin' way.
What if I marry Sofia Vergara? It could happen. It could happen.
I think that the chance of the Leafs getting out of the first round might be higher than you marrying her, but you know what? I like your ambition, kid.
I'm a catch, Josh. I don't know.
Oh, I know you are.
So.
I'm sure your girlfriend would say that too.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of which, what?
Nothing.
Bro, come on. I texted mine and was like, yeah, I was doing my podcast. I'll text you after.
She just texted me, okay? I thought she was set dance, okay?
This friggin' guy. Whatever. Let's talk hockey and not talk about our personal lives.
Alright.
Hockey, like I said, playoffs
Let's
are
do the
coming.
hockey.
The Leafs have been actually playing quite good. I don't know if you want me to start here or not. We played the Habs over the weekend. When's the last time we did one of these? Did we, because...
It's been 2 weeks.
Okay, so there has been a gap. Yeah, if you're a Leafs fan, I mean, you've obviously been paying attention. Hold on, I gotta pull up the stats just so I know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the last few games. I know we played the Habs on Saturday, and we beat them. It was the last game we played. We're playing Buffalo tonight. As a Leafs fan, I'm just getting ready to lose the game tonight because it just, of course, the Leafs have been playing really good. Pretty well. I mean, we beat the Habs. We beat the Stars on Thursday night. Unfortunately, on Tuesday, we lost in overtime to the Panthers after being up 5-1. Yeah, Ryan, come on. Right. Say something. Come on. I know you want to.
What? I might not say anything.
Say something about our 5-1 loss. I know you want to. Anything? Nothing? Okay, cool.
Josh, there's nothing to say because I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
that's the way it is.
The one thing I'll say, like I said to Ryan on the day it happened, the Leafs in the 2 games, but they played on back-to-back nights against Tampa and Florida and put up 12 goals total. That's not bad. Yeah. And then on Saturday, 2 days before that, well, they got 3 points out of the possible 4. I'll take it any day of the week.
Overtime losses are losses.
So here's the thing, Ryan. Right? The game before that, Philadelphia 6-3. So that's 18 goals in 3 games. The game before that, 7-3 versus Winnipeg. The game before that, 6-4 against Boston. The game before that, 5-2 versus the Panthers. The game never mind, we lost the game before that. But since we lost in Montreal 2 Saturdays ago or 3 Saturdays ago, the Leafs have been on a goal scoring just tear. 6, like I said, 5 against Florida, 6 against the Bruins, 7 against the Jets, 6 against the Flyers, 6 against Tampa, 6 against Montreal, 4 against Dallas, and then they scored 3 on Montreal. This is insane. And I will say, shout out to Austin Matthews, this beautiful man right here, for scoring 50 points in a 50 goals in a 50-game stretch. Only one of 5 players to ever do that in the NHL. And he's up there with some pretty good names. You ever heard of guys like, Teemu Selanne, Mario Lemieux, I was surprised why wasn't Gretzky? I was surprised that Gretzky wasn't up there. How did he not score 50 goals in 50 games?
I think that's maybe on a list of guys that scored 50 in 50 games, but maybe not got the official 50 and 50.
Okay, because I'm about to say Teemu did though. I thought Mario did too. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just shocked that Gretzky didn't. The guy's leading the league in goals, actually not even by a long shot.
I know for a fact Wayne Gretzky did do it.
Yeah, that's weird then that it wasn't on that stat.
They got 50 and 39 one time. He's got the record for fastest 50.
That is really weird. Anyway, well, maybe they had to score exactly 50.
Well, maybe, but I think it was just Sportsnet had a bad graphic up. Maybe I think that's all it was.
My lighting just changed on the camera. I don't think it looks worse, but I all of a sudden got redder. I don't know. Whatever.
Doesn't look worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what changed. What changed the lighting on the screen, but whatever. I'm not that worried about it. Yeah, but Austin Matthews has been playing really good. The goaltending has been, up and down. But if the Leafs can score 6 goals a game, normally, unless that one game against Florida, it just doesn't matter. Because if you can outscore your opponent, who cares about how many goals you let in?
Yeah.
Not this guy. Also, shout out to Michael Bunting. I know this guy hasn't scored in a few games, but, the dude's plus 26, I think, right now. Yeah, plus 26, 66 penalty minutes, 20 goals, 57 points in 72 games. Just
66 penalty minutes.
Yeah, and I also want to just give another shout out to him. This guy must get for the amount of fights that this guy has almost been in and not gotten penalty for it. In Montreal or in Toronto against Montreal on Saturday, he threw his gloves off against one of the Habs players and somehow didn't get put in the box. And didn't you guys get a penalty for that somehow?
I think we did, because I think I can't remember who it was, but I think they ran at him. I don't think they should have gotten the penalty they got.
I think that it was if you throw the gloves off, I thought that was an instigation penalty. Shouldn't Bunting have
I think it was. I think he got them off second, maybe. I'll be honest. I was watching it with my girlfriend. How much I was watching the games.
Well, to be fair, there was also another point where you guys took a 10-minute misconduct, and even the broadcasters had no idea where it came from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also,
Ripping been in this league's been pretty rough.
Terrible. It's been a bit look. A lot of people I was talking to Ryan about this earlier. A lot of people are gonna say that I'm just a Leafs fan bitching, complaining about missed calls.
No,
but there was a game the other night where the Leafs had 6 power plays, and someone's like, "You want more than 6 power plays?" I'm like, "Yeah, because there was 12 penalties that should have been called in the game, and these aren't iffy maybe called. We're talking about direct knee on knee, direct tripping calls, direct holding, roughing, interference, and they're just the refs just are they're not calling the game by the rule book." And I've heard a lot of people this year are like, "Yo, should they do rule changes?" Rule changes? They can't even follow the rules they have now. If they followed the actual rules in the rule book, NHL is okay, it would ruin the pace of the game. No, it wouldn't. These teams would learn how to play with that rules. If you're going to call the game a certain way and call it by the rule book, teams will adapt. I promise you, Boston's not going to be out there every game taking 40 minutes of penalties. There's no way that team would let that happen. Are they going to still play a little bit physical? Of course. It's hockey. They'll find a way to be in the gray areas, but they're not going to be out there being goons like they are now. If you look at a Boston game, I'm not saying every game they do it, but a lot of the time, there's 6 or 7 or 8 missed calls, and I'm Boston fans are going to say I'm just a Leafs fan bitching, but it's blatant. I played y'all in the playoffs 4 times in the past 7 or 8 years. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. Are they missing calls in the Leafs too? Yes. Give us the penalties too. It's not just on us. It's every team. It's ridiculous. It all started with that Tim Peel situation last year where he was I wanted to give a penalty to Nashville early. You wanted to what? You what? You can't say that, man.
It's been going on long before that, but I think that was the moment where it's okay, no, this is actually just a thing.
That's what I mean. That was the point where everyone's the thing that we thought that was happening is happening.
Yeah, here's the evidence. Here's the proof.
I just don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
There's nothing we can do but bitching and whining about it. I think we just have to. Anytime it comes up with the league, I think we just need to say, "Hey, call the game as the game. Call the rules." That's all I want.
That's all I want. I don't care if the Leafs take 8 penalties a game. Call 8 penalties a game. I don't care. Do it. Fine. If my team is taking a lot of penalties, call them. They'll adapt. I promise you. No team will be out there taking 8 penalties a game.
Yeah.
And
if it's a penalty in September, it should be or October. It should be a penalty in May.
Yes. And
consistent
the thing is,
calling throughout the year.
The officiating is only going to get worse as we go into the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the playoffs, it's what's a whistle,
So that's the thing. Right now, they're swallowing the whistles. So in the playoffs, are they just going to call nothing? Are we just never going to have power plays in the playoffs?
Well, they're just going to leave the whistles at home. The linesman will have it for the offside, and
that's about it. Call.
Face-off time, guys. Just wave my hands out. Over here. That's all you gotta do.
Also, I want to say this too. I mean, look, I know that John Tavares got conked in the head in the playoffs last year, But I'm not gonna say that what he did to Edmondson there with his stick off the face-off was not blatant. I mean, like, blade up. I don't know why you'd skate into a circle like that with your blade up under his chin. But like, even I was like, man, like that's messed up. That's really messed up. I was like, John, you can't do that to someone. Like, God, the league doesn't make sense. Like I said, Bunting should have gotten a penalty for at least instigating that fight or taking his gloves off, like a roughing call, something. But like,
Right.
Also,
right. Moving on from that though,
I was gonna say Montembeau had a hell of a game versus the Leafs. I know they all lost, but man, what a game!
Great game, and we'll talk about the Habs in a bit. But Josh, I just want to get one quick thing.
Yeah.
You guys have clinched playoff spot with that win over Montreal. How are you guys feeling going into the playoffs?
How do I always feel as a Leafs fan going into the playoffs? I feel anxiety and a little bit of depression because, like, here's the thing: at the beginning of the year, if you would have asked me if the Leafs going to make the playoffs, of course they are. Look at their roster. It's not about can the Leafs make the playoffs. Here's the thing: you want to know what I don't understand about the Leafs, and it's why I genuinely think they're going to lose this game against Buffalo tonight. In every single playoff series the Leafs have been in the past like 4 years, right? Or everyone after the Washington series, we were supposed to either win that series or it was supposed to be 7 games. The first time we lost against Boston, okay, that was 7 games. The second one, though, the Leafs were the favorites, and then every other playoff series the Leafs have had since then, going into the playoffs, they've been the favorite, and they've lost. That series against Washington, where we were the last team to clinch playoff spot, and Washington was the President's Trophy champions who won the Cup that year, we took them to 6 games. And they were close games. That's the best That's the best playoff series I've seen the Leafs play. And I'm like, why? Why do they play really well when they're not supposed to win? But then when they're supposed to win, they fall flat on their face.
Yeah.
Like, this game tonight, they're supposed to win this game. They're gonna fall flat on their face probably. Like, I just don't understand. Like, that's why I'm kind of happy that they're going into they're going to go into the playoffs, like, regardless. But what I'm questioning right now is who are they facing? Because last I looked, Boston is actually in front of Tampa. Okay, now Tampa's retaking that spot by 1 point. But man, I think Toronto might have solidified home ice advantage. I know there's still 10 games left, but I mean a 4-point lead over Tampa. I don't know who the Leafs competition is coming up. I know we're playing Buffalo tonight, but let me check. Buffalo, Washington, the Senators, the Islanders, the Flyers, the Lightning again, Panthers, Capitals, Red Wings, and we finish off our season against the Bruins. I mean, games that you should win. The Sabres, Senators, Islanders, Flyers, the Red Wings, you should win all of those games, in theory. The games against Washington, if you split those games, I'm happy. The game against the Lightning and Panthers, again, if you split those games, I'm happy. Like, you don't need to win every single game coming out of this, but I would really like home ice advantage in the first round. Because, by God, this team needs every advantage they can get. I don't know why they get so much momentum block, but what I will say is it's nice to have Jack Campbell back. I wish he was, playing a little bit better. But the other thing I want to finish up on this real quick. Shalgren's game against the Habs the other night is the best performance I've seen him put up. Like,
great performance for him.
Rebound control. Like, he had a shutout in his first NHL game. He played pretty bad, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
This is just, like, he played good, but he played great against Montreal. The only goals they got scored on him, I mean, Caulfield's got some of the quickest hands I've ever seen in my life. I know I gave him a lot of flack, but seriously, man, I think you guys have a superstar player on your hands.
Yeah, I knew it all along. We want to get into the Habs then. We'll start with Caulfield. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Right when Martin St. Louis took over, we saw the immediate effect of it. Some people thought, oh, maybe it's just flash of the pan. It's been going on for 20 games now. This is Caulfield. This is the kid
He's riding a point streak, isn't he?
It might have ended last night, actually.
Okay.
Last night we played the Jets. It wasn't too great.
But he was riding a long one, wasn't he? Like I thought more than 50.
Pretty long one, yeah. He was a pretty long goal streak too. Yeah, but I'm trying to find the stat here. But I think he was projecting to have between 2 and 3 goals under Dominic Ducharme for the first like 50 games of the year. Once since St. Louis taken over, or an 82 game season, he's been projected for 50 goals, which is unheard of. I can't remember the last time a Habs player scored 50. I'm actually gonna look at it. It might have been Quaver or Demkoos.
I'm looking at it right now. He wasn't on like a long point streak, but what I will say is he's very productive in the past few games. Like he's only had a stretch of games where he's been held off the score sheet. Like he's had a 2-game skid. Every other game he's put up points.
Yeah. Yeah, moving on from that though. Caulfield's looked great. Suzuki's looked amazing. We look at Caulfield and everybody's like, oh, he's flash player, superstar. Suzuki is as good, if not better, I really think we have something special with those two. And we've been saying this for a year now, so I don't think I'm saying anything nobody's heard before, but yeah, I'm very happy to have them lead this team for the next 10 or 15 years.
I think Suzuki is good, but when Caulfield is on the ice, that's who I was paying attention to. When Suzuki was out there, he kind of got mixed in with a lot of guys. But Caulfield, I don't know, he's got this energy about him when he's on the ice. It's kind of like...
he's got the great energy.
Yeah, it's Matthews-esque, but I don't think he's got the scoring touch that Matthews does, just because Matthews is a different breed of player.
Yeah, maybe so. But, I mean, Suzuki, yeah, he blends into the crowd a little bit more. You don't notice him as much, but he's doing a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's not a bad thing that he's blending into the crowd a lot.
No. There's a reason. It's not just because he's been healthy all year that he's our points leader this year. He's got 55 points through 73 games. Playing under Dominic Ducharme for most of that, too. The only guy that's played, I think, all of our games this year. Been healthy, been a superstar the entire time. Great two-way player. There's something there. And we've had some other great performances. Josh Anderson scored his 100th goal the other night. Career goal, so pretty good for him.
Oh my God.
And I think next year, we have to take this team, add one of the top prospects to the draft. I'm thinking, obviously, Shane Wright, if we're first. After that, I'm saying Cooley, Savoie, Nemec, and then Slavkovsky. That's, I think, my top 5.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much Ducharme was messing up the development of guys like Suzuki. Yeah. I just went back and I looked at his score sheet. He's got 6-game skids, 7-game skids, 8-game skids, and then you look at with Martin St. Louis, 1-point game, 3-point game. He's barely held off the score sheet.
Yeah. I think it helps too that, it's not just the energy that Martin St. Louis brings to the team. His lines are good. He plays Caulfield and Suzuki together. He put Rem Pitlick on their line. That's 2 rookies, and Suzuki's second or third year player.
Did Pitlick get hurt the other night? Was he back last night? I thought he left the Leafs game early, but I could be wrong.
I am not sure. It might have been Tyler Pitlick.
Okay,
but
one of them.
I'll touch on the injury problems next. I really want to talk about the injury problems, but first St. Louis, absolutely phenomenal. Really has brought some energy. When we traded Ben Sherratt, he did an interview with I think it was Sportsnet, where he talked about what it was like having Martin St. Louis, and he said, "This guy's amazing. He brings a lot of energy to the guys. Really good for the locker room. His practices are fun. It feels like you're actually playing. It's not running drills. You feel like you're playing and having fun." Mm-hmm. He also mentioned in that interview that he thinks Suzuki is probably the next captain of the Montreal Canadiens, which. More I think about it, more I think he might be. But only good things to say about Martin St. Louis. I'm hoping we can just give him all the money this summer and just say, hey, you're the coach now. Get rid of the intern tag. You're it. Hopefully he's down.
All of the money.
If he's willing to do that, I'm all for it.
All right, I'll be back in one second. Just vamp. I gotta grab something.
All right. While Josh is gone, I'm going to talk about the injuries. I just need to get this out of my system. All right. Montreal. The all-time leader in main games lost in a season. I think we're over 690 now. I will see if I can find the tab. But some big names, obviously, Price and Weber have been out all season. we've had Allen has missed large chunks of the season. He missed like 8 weeks, and he's now done for the season. COVID obviously hit a lot of players quite hard. We've also had guys like Edmondson was out for a large chunk. Petrie's been out. I think he's been back in the lineup now, but it's been reduced minutes, I think, at least. Who else has missed large chunks? I'm trying to think of what guys have missed. I don't know if anybody else missed huge chunks of the year, but yeah, no, we've been missing a lot of games. Like I said, Duran's also missed a lot of games, actually. But Allen's out for the season now. Justin Barron's out for the season now. Emil Heineman is out for the season, though I don't think he was going to play anyway. But he's been evaluated and he'll be there for training camp. Yeah, upper body injury for him. Jonathan Duran had surgery on Friday. He's out for the season. He'll be ready for training camp. His right hand, I think it was his right wrist he had surgery on. So yeah, everybody's been out. Allen's out with lower body injury, done for the year. So our goaltending is right now is Samuel Montembeault and Caden Primo. However, there has been some chatter on Carey Price. It's looking like Carey Price may actually play this season starting Friday. It's looking like he could play Friday night at the Bell Center.
You only have 10 games left right now, so probably get like, what, 5 maybe?
Yeah, 4 or 5, but yeah, we're definitely looking like we'll see him Good Friday versus the New York Islanders. That's where we're at.
I don't think they're gonna run him. Like, if there's only 10,
there's no reason for him to give him.
Yeah, like I don't think they're gonna give him all 8. Like if there's 8 left when he comes back on Friday. Like I can't see them going.
But there's no reason, especially where we have a back-to-back. I think Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna if he plays Friday, he's not gonna play Saturday night, which is unfortunate. I would love to see him play Saturday night, Bell Center, all that.
I mean, They could hold him out of Friday's game, put him on Saturday, but normally you put the better goalie against the tougher opponent.
Oh, the tougher opponent's Capitals, but which play Saturday night. But I think it might be Price coming back. Maybe doesn't want all the pressure of a Saturday night game at Bell Center, which I completely understand. Is completely fair. It's entirely up to him, really. Like this is Carey Price we're talking about. He's the guy in Montreal. Mm-hmm. It's been said it's up to him. If he wants to play, he's in. It's totally up to him at this point. He's thinking that he might want to play this weekend. He wants to play at home, obviously. We've got 9 games left, and 3 are away games. The rest are home games, so he's got plenty of opportunity to play at home. He's got one more Saturday night at the Bell Center. Actually, that's actually not a lot. It sucks. Yeah, only one more Saturday night game at the Bell Center this season.
Yeah,
so maybe he does play the back-to-back. I doubt he would, but it would be really nice to see him Saturday nights. Like his nickname is Mr. Saturday Night, right? Like he brings everything, and the building when he comes back is just gonna go nuts.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be ballistic.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be the 10-minute ovation that Saku Koivu got when he came back, but
I don't think the league would let that happen again.
What would the league do? We're the Montreal Canadiens. We bring in like half the revenue. Like, what are they gonna do?
Make the Leafs just bring in the other half? We're the only 2 teams that make revenue in this league anymore.
There's like 10 teams that make revenue in this league. It's like us and the Rangers, and that's like most of the money.
I know that we had that other thing today, and I kind of just curious about this. Like hockey isn't it like more of a Canadian thing? So I was curious how like the original 6 teams, how most of them were American.
I mean, it was mostly Americans because only American cities could hold up those teams. Like Ottawa at the time just wasn't big enough. Though admittedly they did have an AHL team. Quebec City did as well. Those teams just folded. They didn't have the money to keep them up.
Fair.
Other than that, everyone wanted to stay on the East Coast. It wasn't really something the West had developed yet.
Oh yeah.
So.
You can't make ice in the middle of the winter time in LA. You silly man. You think you can have hockey here? What is this? No.
Wait, is that Wayne Gretzky? Hold on, let's make some ice. Yeah. We can do this.
Well, I mean, one of the coolest things I think the league has done is done that game with dry ice in LA. That was really cool. I was like, man, that's wild. I'm like, we're using dry ice to play hockey. I'm like, that's sick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no.
that was just. I wanted to go off on that tangent there for a second.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm excited to see Carey Price come back all in all. So yeah. Everything said, I'm happy to see where the Habs are at. I'm excited to see who we take in the draft. Like I said, my top 5 right now, and I'm assuming we're going to take a top 5 player. It's Shane Wright, Logan Cooley. I think we go Savoie 3, and then Nemec and Slafkovsky. We need the number 1 defenseman that Nemec can be. Slafkovsky, obviously, just left winger, which we need, and a massive body. And I'm one guy that doesn't like size. I don't value size in the draft, and I've questioned Slafkovsky, and that's why I have him 5. But I think at this point, he has the skill. The skill is there. It's just on top of the size. Obviously Savoie, I think I have 3 just because he's not better than Shane Wright or Logan Cooley. They're too good to give up. Mm-hmm. But if we're picking 3 and they're both gone, Matthew Savoie has to be the guy. French Canadian, all the skill in the world, very small player, which is kind of like he's the prototypical Hab. Super skillful, super fast, great hands, tiny frame. It's perfect. Mm-hmm. And then you got obviously Shane Wright and Logan Cooley, who are just 2 great 2-way players, which would be great for this team. Logan Cooley is a guy I'm especially high on. I wouldn't take him over Shane Wright, obviously. Shane Wright's he's got the offensive talent and the 2-way game. Logan Cooley's a guy that has the 2-way game on lock. In terms of defensive play, he's amazing. Not to mention, I think his hockey IQ is pretty good. That's the big thing for me. And when I'm looking at draft prospects, hockey IQ is the number 1 thing. You say, you can't teach size. You can't teach height. You can make a guy heavier and stronger. Yeah. You can't teach IQ. IQ is built off of experience. There's nothing better than it. If you have that at the gate, you're golden. When you look at draft busts, I want you to look at what their biggest selling points were going into the draft. You tell me how many of them were big IQ guys versus how many were just I've got size, I've got skill. I don't pity the guy that has to pick against the guy that's going with IQ. So. Yeah. So, that's my little round of the Habs. We've done our little round of the Leafs.
You want to go? Josh, how much time? We're at almost the half an hour mark. We could go on to do that Mount Rushmore thing you were talking about.
Yes. All right. Josh.
Mount Rushmore is 4 guys?
4 guys.
Okay.
Who is your team's Mount Rushmore, Josh? Because I think in hockey, overall, I think it's general consensus is Gretzky, Lemieux, Howe, Orr. That's the Mount Rushmore of hockey as a whole.
Yes. So
who's the Leafs?
The top 4 guys for the Leafs all time. Oh, God. Okay, I have to go with Matt Sundin just because he's the franchise leader and just an all-around great player. Every Leafs fan liked Matt Sundin, other than him leaving for Vancouver, of course. But
everyone liked Matt Sundin, really.
Exactly.
I loved that scene when I was a kid.
The second one, I'm gonna go with Johnny Bower. Amazing goaltender for them. Oh God, man, there's so many good Leaf players. I mean, there's not the problem is with a lot of Leafs guys, especially in the 80s and 90s, they get shipped away a lot and got the shit end of the stick. So I think I would go Daryl Sittler. Honestly, man, some people are gonna get mad at this. I'm giving it to this guy right here, Austin Matthews. The guy is almost. He's already in the top 10 the Leafs scoring all time. He's only played 4 or 5 years. This kid's electric. He scored the most goals of any Leaf in a season. But I can't say.
I don't think that's a bad pick. I think it's maybe a little early for him, but the one game I'm surprised he didn't go with is Dave Keon. I'm surprised you didn't hear that, but that's fair.
Yeah, I could. That's the thing. Keon is probably who I should have picked over Matthews. So, because if I said Sundin, Bauer, Keon, and Sittler, that's probably the Leafs Mount Rushmore. But honestly, him or Sittler, probably Sittler, because he didn't win anything with the Leafs, would probably be the guy that gets booted off the list for Matthews. Just because, Sittler is just, an all-around good Leaf, but, he didn't play. I don't think he played his whole career in Toronto. because I think he might have been one of the guys that went over to the other league because Toronto was kind of a shit show.
Played in the NHL his entire career. Played for the Flyers and for 3 years, and then Detroit to finish off his career.
Okay,
but played like 10 years in Toronto.
That's the Mount Rushmore for my team. But Ryan, who you got?
Well, here's the thing with the Habs. I don't want to brag, but I feel like we need more of a mountain range.
Like, yeah, but give me the top 4. So we got to do every team. We only have half an hour.
Oh, are we doing every team? I don't know if we can do every team.
We can do almost every team.
I would do like the East today, and when Ethan's here, we can do the West.
Okay, that's fair. Cool.
Let's keep it down a little bit.
Oh,
for the Habs, if we're gonna keep it to just 4 players, Jean Beliveau, Maurice Richard, Guy Lafleur, top 3 easily.
Okay.
After that, there's like 3 names that I go to. It's one of probably Henri Richard, Patrick Waugh, or Ken Dryden. You could also make an argument for somebody like Doug Harvey or Larry Robinson, but I just don't think it's there. I would probably go with Ken Dryden. Didn't play a long time. Won a lot of championships with the Habs. Won Vezinas. He was there. He was the guy. Though if you said Henri Richard or Patrick Waugh, I completely understand.
Yeah.
But
good team. There's a lot of good players on it.
Yeah. I mean, but like really, you could just make one for the forwards, defensemen, and goalies, and even like front office and GM and coaches. You could do another one on it.
Like the thing is, like the Leafs have like 6 or 7 guys that I'd put up, or maybe even 8. The problem is a lot of the Leafs' best players didn't play with the Leafs for a long time because, like I said, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they were owned by Keith. I think his name was Keith Ballard or Ken Ballard. A racist, homophobic, anti-Semite who hated Russians. Like just the all-around bad guy who is in jail for money laundering, I think, until he died. Just his motto on the Leafs was, "Why would I pay guys to play? I'm filling the stadium every game anyway, so there's no point in paying Wayne Gretzky." Like the Leafs could have had Gretzky in the 80s, or not? I think it was the 90s. But they had a chance. They could have signed him, and he probably would have signed in Toronto. But that was like, nah. We don't need him. We don't need him. You don't need Wayne Gretzky. Harold Ballard.
Harold Ballard, yeah.
Yeah, but that's he's someone important. I don't remember his name. That's the thing, though. At least I got his last name right. But that's the thing. He was like, no, we don't need Gretzky. You don't need Gretzky. You sure? You sure? You sure, man? You would have helped. They hadn't won a championship in like 20 years at that point. Like, great, man. Okay. Ryan, how do you want to count the Thrashers? Or do you want to count the Thrashers like the expansion?
They're the Jets. They're the Jets.
Okay, so the Thrashers so they're counting as a Western Conference team then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we start with Boston, I guess.
All right. Bobby Orr.
Yep. Ray Bork.
Yep. Patrice Bergeron.
Yeah. I mean, there's the Johnny Busick.
Johnny Busick.
And probably
Esposito's out there too.
Yeah, Esposito. There's also one other guy, Cam Neely.
Yeah.
Because I think Cam Neely is their all-time goal scorer leader, maybe? That could be completely wrong. I thought that's who it was.
I mean, it's got to be Bobby or Ray Bork.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Phil Esposito's on there, too.
Yeah.
And then it's down between Busick and Bergeron.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's close. I would maybe give it to Bergeron. Didn't score as many points, but he was the better defensive player. The best, one of, if not the best defensive player of all time.
Yeah, he probably has more hardware than Busick.
Defensive forward. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then the next team, Buffalo. I only can probably think of like 3 guys, that being, or 2 guys, like Dominic Hasek and Pat LaFontaine.
There are 2. Gilbert Perreault probably has to be on there, I think. I'm looking at their all-time scores. Alex McGinley's another guy that maybe, but he didn't play there very long.
Did Grant Fuhr play there for like a short period of time?
He might have, but it wouldn't have been long enough for me to put him on the list.
I'm going to look because now I'm curious.
All right. But we're saying Pat LaFontaine.
No way, he did.
Nice.
He played with like 4 teams at the end of his career, one of them being Buffalo, so no, I don't count that.
All right. Gilbert Perreault has got to be 1. I agree. Pat LaFontaine's probably has to be on there.
Yeah,
even though he didn't play very long.
Do you think Hasek is up there too? What about Ryan? I mean, Ryan Miller?
Hasek should be on there.
I would say probably Hasek and Ryan Miller, honestly. They're the only 2 that I can think of.
You could probably put both of them on there, honestly.
Because who else do they have?
Like, I don't know. Like, they've got, like, Dave Ondrejchuk played there for 800 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's more than Pat LaFontaine. Pat LaFontaine only played there for, like, half his career. He played the other half in New York, right?
Yeah, but he was so... he was good.
He was really good in Buffalo. That's right.
Yeah. Well, the next team, Ryan, there's not really much to say about Buffalo, is the Hurricanes, another team there's not much to say about. First name that comes to mind for me is Ron Francis, Eric Stahl.
Yeah, Rod Brindamore.
Cam Ward and Ron Brindamore, maybe? Because Cam Ward did win them their only cup.
Yeah.
And that, like, Cam Ward was good for a while.
Yeah. You could put an argument for Gordie Howe. You know, played for the Whalers.
For the Whalers. Yeah, but how long did he... I mean, yeah.
He played there, like, a decent amount of time.
That's what I was about to say. It doesn't really matter. It's Gordie Howe. I mean, it's Gordie Howe. I can't...
Yeah.
I can't... I'm just gonna not say it. It's Mr. Hockey. I don't want to disrespect that guy.
I'm actually curious now how long he played there. Yeah, he played for... Okay, he only played for Hartford for, like, 3 years, and only one of them was in the NHL, so, yeah. Maybe not... Gordie Howe, I don't think that's the argument anymore.
So it's probably Brindamore,
Stahl, Brindamore,
Stahl, and Ward would be the 4.
I think that's the pretty good list.
I think so. Ryan, the next team, I can think of one guy. The Columbus Blue Jackets, Rick Nash. Rick
Nash 4 times.
If I have to pick guys, here's the most funny part. It's probably him, Sergei Bobrovsky, Patrick Laine, and I'm grasping at straws right now, man.
I'm gonna say Cam Atkinson.
Jack Johnson. Okay, Cam Atkinson's a better one.
Cam Atkinson. Looking at their all-time scores, Nick Foligno.
Rick Nash, Nick Foligno, Sergei Bobrovsky, and
Cam Atkinson.
Cam Atkinson. There we go.
I stand by it. Should be Rick Nash 4 times.
You know what? I think if they put a list out, no one would disagree with you. No one would disagree with you.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah. No.
The next one is another one of those historic franchises, the Detroit Red Wings.
Another team that could use a mountain range.
Yeah.
Gordie Howe 1.
Lidstrom.
Yzerman.
Ted Lindsay. Like, man, there's Yzerman,
Datsuk,
Sawchuk, like Datsuk, Zetterberg, Hasek, Hull,
Shanahan,
Fedorov. Like, what?
We're not even looking at goalies yet.
I know.
Sawchuk, Oz good enough.
Hasek, Osgood. Like, man.
Oh, I mean, Gordie Howe, Steve Yzerman are 1 and 2, I think.
Yeah.
Lidstrom, I think, is 3.
I think Lidstrom's 3. I think 4 is debatable. Because I want to say
4 is debatable.
I want to say Datsuk, but like
I want to say Datsuk too, but we grew up on Datsuk.
That's what I mean. Like, honestly, it probably there's a trophy named after Ted Lindsay. Like,
yeah, but Sergei Fedorov.
I know this is.
Like I mentioned, Patrice Bergeron is like the best defense player of all time. No, it's Sergei Fedorov.
Can we call? I think we give it a tie between Fedorov and Lindsay. I don't know if we can settle that.
All right, I'll call it a tie. I'll call it a tie.
It's probably a coin flip. Like, this team's got too many good players. Like, we think our teams have good players.
We didn't mention a single guy from the Russian 5, by the way.
No, I know. What are you supposed to do? Okay, there's too many good players on this team. I can't, like... of course we're gonna miss guys. The next team's got, like, two guys.
We mentioned Fedorov.
We did. The next team, Ryan, has only got, like, two guys that I can think of off the top of my head. Florida Panthers. Well, I know Pavel Bure played there for, like, a hot minute. And, young Yager played there for a hot minute, you know? The old Yager. Huberdeau Barkov.
Huberdeau Barkov.
Luongo.
I'll put the Luongo. That's a good one.
There we go.
And who's the other one?
Didn't Brian Campbell play there for like a really long time?
No. Brian Campbell? No.
No, not Frank. Brian.
Well, they're for like 300 games or 400 games. It's like
okay.
That's like not even that much.
How much?
I think it's Huberdeau Barkov, Luongo, and maybe Bure.
Yeah.
Bure only played 200 games there, though.
I mean, how many did Yager play there?
Less than that. He only played there for like 2 or 3 years. He played 181. That's it. Bure only played 223 games there. He had 251 points.
Yeah, I would give it to Bure. How many goals did he have in that time span?
152.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to him.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. The next team would be the Devils.
Is it really?
I think so. You gotta, because like we already did Montreal.
Yeah, Devils.
Yeah.
All right. So, Patrick Elias.
Martin Brodeur.
Yep.
Scott Niedermayer.
Chris Pronger. Is he a Devil or no? He was the other side.
No, that's Anaheim. Scott Stevens maybe.
Scott Stevens is a good one. He probably makes that list.
Like the only Yager played for so many teams in a short period of time, but also Kovalchuk played for the Devils for a little bit. But I don't know if I'd put Kovalchuk there or not.
No, I think it's probably Brodeur, Scott Stevens, Scott Niedermayer, Patrick Elias.
Yeah.
Patrick Elias was like the Devil. He's the all-time leading scorer too. Like.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think maybe that's your 4 for New Jersey.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised that was as easy as it was. Like the late 90s, early 2000s Devils were good.
That's true. The next team would be the Islanders. Immediately names come to my head. Bossy. It's gotta be the one.
Bossy, Trottier, Potvin.
And LaFontaine. Like LaFontaine played, I think, the other half of his career in the Island.
Billy Smith, goaltender, played nearly 700 games.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Like that LaFontaine, 530 games there. Like, he's played his career too much. I think.
Enough for Buffalo, but not enough for the Islanders.
Yeah. The Islanders had that dynasty that just made him too good. So yeah, Trottier, Bossy, Potvin, and what's his name? Billy Smith.
Yep. Yeah. The next one would be the Rangers.
Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, Andy Bathgate.
Brian Leach.
Yeah. I think it had.
Brad Park.
Yeah. I would also I might throw Jean Rattel in there too.
Ron Gilbert.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, man. For a team as old as
the Rangers,
this is not as impressive a list as I would have thought.
Well, you notice how they have like no Stanley Cups, and how like the other teams have a lot.
Well, not all of them. Not all.
Wow, but the majority of the original 6 teams are the top teams when it comes to total Stanley Cups.
Like, yeah.
Mainly because
I think the Rangers have like 4.
Yeah, my team and your team have a combined combination of 35, I think.
37. Or no, you guys only have 11. It's Detroit has 13.
Yeah.
Detroit has 13.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like with our 3 teams combined, that's like over 40 years of Stanley Cups, and I think it's close to 50
and
years.
In fairness, the Rangers and the Blackhawks are basically just farm teams to the Red Wings anyway. So
yeah. So
if we were to pick 4, I think Lundqvist is the easy one.
Yeah.
Brian Leach 2.
Yeah, I really think Andy Bathgate's probably 3, and then like
Brad Park.
Yeah, probably. Like there's not many names here really.
Yeah.
Then we get the Senators. Daniel Alfredson.
Yep.
Danny Heatley.
1507 All-Star, yep.
Jason Spezza. And who was that defenseman? Not Eric Carlson. Was his name Chris Phillips? Didn't he play there for like a long time?
Chris Phillips, the all-time leader in games played for them.
Yeah, that would be my forward. Just Danny Heatley All-Star. I don't think of course you could pick someone else, but why would you? Why would you? Mr. 50 and 07.
Yeah. Alfredson, Spezza, Heatley, and fucking Chris Phillips.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll let that. I'm okay with that.
Another team.
They didn't have any goalies that were like too crazy, like Craig Anderson, but
yeah.
You know,
another team with a good history, the Philadelphia Flyers.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Bobby Clark.
Yeah. Eric Lindros. Yeah, Claude Giroux.
Lindros. Short career, but yeah.
Hextall.
Yeah. Ron Hextall, yeah.
You said Bobby Clark, right? Was that the first name you said?
Yeah. Bobby Clark was the first one that came up with Claude Giroux, Lindros,
and Hextall.
And Hextall.
Man, the God.
Yeah.
So many good players. Here's another team with a lot of good players. The Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby.
Mario Lemieux.
Yom Yager.
Evgeny Malkin.
Yeah, probably. Fleury?
Fleury in a lot of games, but like Fleury and Letang are like on the outskirts, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone knows those Stanley Cups for Crosby and Malkin and Yager and Lemieux. I don't think anyone can contest those duos were elite.
Yeah. That might be the easiest one, I think.
Yeah. You wonder what the hardest one might be? This is another hard one. The Tampa Bay Lightning. I think all of them are playing right now. Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, Vasilevsky.
St. Louis and Lecavalier have to be on there.
Actually, yeah, that's true. I forgot that they played there.
They had two amazing teams. So I think St. Louis, Stamkos, Lecavalier.
Kucherov or Vasilevsky or Hedman? Like,
Brad Richards too.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know.
I don't think Vasilevsky's there yet. I think Kucherov might be there. I think Hedman over Kucherov though.
Yeah, I think so because Hedman has the games. Kucherov's kind of injured a lot.
Yeah.
So Lecavalier, Stamkos, St. Louis, and Hedman.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good list. I think the last team now is the Washington Capitals. Alexander Ovechkin, 4 times.
Nicholas Backstrom at least once.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. Mike Gardner.
Mike Gardner too.
Yeah. And then
Peter Baudry's third in all-time points, but I don't.
Who was the guy who had the skullet?
Olaf Kolzig has 711 games played for them.
Yeah.
As goalie.
That's not. Yeah. Frick, who is that player? Ally Frady.
No. He didn't play there that long.
I know. Yeah, no. Ovechkin, what do we say? Ovechkin, Backstrom, Mike Gardner, and then, honestly, like, that goalie, maybe? Or, like...
It's either Peter Bondra or the goaltender, Olaf Kolzig.
Yeah.
Though I don't know, like, 711 games, only 301 wins. Like, you lost more than you won. That's not impressive.
What about John Carlson?
John Carlson's in that conversation. He is. You know.
A lot of these players, you and me are biased on because we grew up watching them, and if there were old heads listening to this, they'd be like, nah. But I'd be like, hey, at least my guys can lift the puck. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. They'll just counter back with my guys could fight.
Yeah, well, I'll counter back with our guys try to fight. The referees are like, no.
Alex Ovechkin can fight.
This is true. Ovi fights. I mean, no one would contest Ovi on any list. If you're talking about
easily won.
Greatest goal scorers of all time, no one's gonna say anything about that. Like
8th best player of all time.
Absolutely, and he still has a chance to climb the list. If he becomes the NHL all-time leader in goals, holy shoot! Like he immediately jumps into my top 5. I put him top 5. If he catches Gretzky, man, I put him 5.
Problem is Sidney Crosby.
Look, we'll have to see where he finishes all time on points. Honestly,
Yeah. It'll come down to that.
Yeah.
I mean, the crazy thing is, like, they're fucking close in all-time stats.
Oh, I know.
Like, just each other.
Right.
Each other.
Right. They came into the league around the same time, okay? You know who
Same
else
season,
came in?
yeah.
You know who else came into the league around the same time? Conor McDavid and Austin Matthews. And, man, Draisaitl, too. The league's got so many amazing players right now. Honestly. Like, I'm kind of surprised. Like, I'm shocked. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad saying goodbye to the guys that I grew up watching. You know, the Eric Stahls, the Corey Perrys, the Getzlaffs, the...
Yep.
Even you know, Carey Price's career is probably coming to an end here in the next, probably, 5 years?
No, it isn't. I'm gonna know. Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby, by the way, they've been in the league for, 17 years now?
Yes.
I want you to take a guess. How many points of difference is there between the two of them?
50.
Let's.
30?
3.
33, or 3 points.
No. 3 points.
How many? What's the
3-point difference.
What's the game?
1,403 to 1,400. Ovechkin's got like 167 more games.
Yeah, because Crosby took 2 years off. What's the goal difference, though?
Ovechkin has 261 more.
Okay, I'm about to say, there's no way Crosby would have ever caught him.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Ovechkin is leading by 3 points over Crosby.
But yeah.
They're 21 and 22nd all time.
Man, we grew up watching two of the craziest hockey players we'll ever probably see. Oh, actually, we have Conor Mcdavid and Austin Matthews now, so...
We do, but like...
I mean, look, I don't understand what Conor McDavid is, because last year, in the shortened season, I know he was playing against the same 6 teams on a circuit, but, like, man, how do you go from putting up, like, 100 like, you were on pace for, like, 200 points last year, and this year, I think he's probably still going to hit 150, but, like, still, come on, I wanted more points. I wanted a 200-point season out of Conor McDavid.
I mean, he's got 108 points so far.
Oh, he's never
72 games. He got 10 games played.
He's nowhere close. I thought he was way closer than that at one point this year.
Oh. Well, he was on pace early in the year just because of the power play, but the power play did drop off a lot, which I thought it wouldn't, but they stopped calling so many penalties. You know, goes back to reffing, of course.
I mean, like, man, that's the thing. I can't tell what he is, because I know, like, obviously he's an incredible hockey player. Like, I'm not calling his skill into question at all here. My main question is, you know, last year in 56 games he had 105 points. This year in 72 he's got 108. Like, and like,
I don't know. I think this year he was trying to maybe round out his game a little bit more rather than just focus on scoring. I think that was it. I think that, like, we know over the summer he was training on his shot, trying to improve that a lot.
Yeah.
So I think he's been focusing on a few other things rather than just trying to score a lot of points.
No, that's fair. So. That's fair. I mean, he's got a guy on his line that can do that too. So. Honestly, you want to know a player who I can't really judge is Leon Draisaitl, because he's playing with probably the second best or best player in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
And, like, we could say Draisaitl is in the top 5 of best players in the league right now, but if he was doing that by himself, I would say that. But he's doing it with Conor McDavid, so I can't, like, obviously he's a great player. He is.
Yeah.
But I can't tell.
Top 10 in the league guaranteed, but...
Like, how good is
it? It is a question of what would he do by himself. Then again, when you're by yourself, it's a lot harder. Like, you look at guys like John Tavares on the island, he didn't do much.
Yeah, it's true.
It was great, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't, but didn't do anything crazy.
The most surprising thing about the most surprising thing that you could say about John Tavares' tenure in the Islanders was he only ever eclipsed 33 goals in one season.
Yeah.
I thought it was way more than that. Probably every hockey fan thought that he was putting out 40 bombs, but no, he was not.
He had no help. Like, it was him and fucking Cal Clutterbuck was his line mate. Like, wasn't
it Kyle Okposo at one point too?
Yeah, Kyle Okposo was the other guy. Yeah, like,
and he had Matt Molson at one point.
Yeah. At the end of his tenure, he had Matt Barzal, but, like, man, Matt Barzal's a guy that I don't think gets talked about enough.
No, because the Islanders are gonna lose him anyway, because they don't care about him. They treat him like crap. So he's like, you know what? He's probably gonna pull the John Tavares and just leave when his RFA is up.
Yeah, but where's Matt Barzal from? Isn't he American?
I think he's Canadian. I thought he was. Could be wrong.
He is from BC.
Ah, yes.
So he's gonna go to Vancouver. Great.
Hey man, that's good for you.
He's actually just from Vancouver. He's like from Vancouver.
Well, you know, they need the help. I know that.
Well, they can take him. We can take left. You know, we'll take all the French guys like Huberdeau.
I mean,
Bring Huberdeau.
I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of Huberdeau's contract he did go and finish his career in Montreal. It's the same thing why I wouldn't be surprised if any player, like for Montreal or Toronto, wanted to finish there, especially with the way Toronto's been playing lately in the past few years. I would be surprised if they want to. Wayne Simmons, Jason Spezza, like Mark Giordano. I know we traded for him, but like, man, these are like Leaf fans growing up who are doing their best. Like, that's why I'm kind of confident in these Leafs. There are so many players on this team that grew up as Leafs fans. They understand the pressure. I know that it's hard, but like, they want to win just as bad as the fans want it. Like,
you can't tell me Alex Lafreniere does not come to play in Montreal at some point in his career.
I wouldn't tell. I would agree with you on that 100%. The only way that I can't see that happening
Sidney
is
Crosby.
well, that's the thing, Ryan. If he goes off and wins 4 Stanley Cups and is treated like a god in New York, which I don't see happening because they haven't really done that for any of their players other than Lundqvist. You know, like even Ryan Callahan was their long tenured captain. They just see ya.
Well, I mean, he was captain of New York. He's got to be traded, you know. He's got to be traded to Tampa. He's got to go, sorry.
For Martin St. Louis.
Yeah.
Great trade.
What they give him for Ryan McDonough?
No, I thought he signed there. I thought he just signed in Tampa. Maybe he was part of that trade too. Because I know that they swapped Callahan for sure.
He was traded for a first, a second, named Nestikov, and a couple contracts. But they got McDonough and JT Miller.
Oh yeah, and then they lost JT Miller.
Yeah. And we're not going to talk about how he's also traded from the Habs for Scott Gomez, because I don't want to talk about that. Fuck my life.
We love Scott Gomez.
Gomez was great. He did really well in Montreal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All 3 fucking years he was here. Up a whole 59 points. I'm really happy.
Ryan, calm down. You know how many players the Leafs have done that to? You know, guys like Joffrey Lupul, Mikhail Grabowski, Tim Connolly, Tyler Bozak. Like, I could run down a list of Leaf guys that were there that did nothing. Clark MacArthur, David Clarkson, who they gave a buttload of money to, and then he got hurt immediately. David Boland, Dion Phaneuf.
I want McDonough.
Nikolai Kulemin.
I want Ryan McDonough.
You want me to keep running?
Him. It's not fair.
Well, the Leafs could have drafted Tuukka Rask, okay? And Tyler Seguin. And you know what they did? They said, nah, we want this cool cat named Phil Kessel who likes hot dogs.
Okay, though, we got Max Pacioretty and PK Subban in that same draft, so it's alright.
Fair. Well, Ryan, we're at 57 minutes right now. You said you had a question for me. Wait, no, that was the whole question. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Duh. Stupid. But I honestly don't have any trivia today, and Ryan, unless you want to look some up, bro. Okay, fine, I'll pull it off. Fine.
Yay.
Gonna have to vamp. Give me a minute.
Alright, so the draft lottery's coming up. Will be on the day of.
It's May, isn't it?
I will tell you in just a moment when I find a site that will tell me. It'll be on. This is Wikipedia. Hold on. 2022. It'll be on TBA. It was set at some point this date. Hold on. It's coming. Are you ready for it? May 16th. The draft lottery will be May 16th. Yeah. Go to CanucksArmy.com. Coming in clutch. Yeah, so the draft lottery will be May 16th. Right now, looking at Montreal having like the 3rd best odds, I think. In the NHL standings, we're looking at in dead last with 49 points as the Coyotes. Montreal is in second last.
All right, Ryan, I have 3 questions for you.
Yep. Wow, that's a lot of questions. All right.
Ryan,
hands up, not typing.
It's a multiple choice question.
We'll close this and okay.
Which one of these players did not return to play in the NHL after being inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Okay.
Guy Lafleur, Gordie Howe, Mario Lemieux, or Bobby Orr?
Bobby Orr.
One sec. I gotta fact check this. Should have did that before, but I'm kind of, slow when it comes to these things.
Bobby Orr's knees wouldn't have let him. There's no way.
Let's just hold on.
Greatest defenseman of all time with weak ass knees. Probably not even weak, just weren't equipped for how good he was.
Weak knees. You said Bobby Orr, right? That is correct. Bobby Orr did not return after retiring in 1978 and being included into the Hall of Fame in 1978.
All right.
So Ryan, as you probably know, Wayne Gretzky was inducted into the NHL Hockey Hall of Fame, or the Hockey Hall of Fame, in 1999. Mm-hmm. How many other players were inducted with him?
In 1999?
In 1999. Who else how many players went to the Hall?
I mean, typically it's 4, but I almost want to say it was 0. I think it was just him as like a special ceremony.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It was 0. Wayne Gretzky, the Great One, was the only player inducted into the Hall in 1999.
Yeah. Waived the period for him, too.
Yes, he did.
No waiting period.
Ryan, this is the last question. I will not, Actually, I had 2 more questions for you because I like the next question too. This next one might be hard. Who is the first NHL born in Sweden to be inducted into the Hall? Your options are Peter Forsberg, Nicholas Lidstrom, Borge Salming, or Matt Sundin.
Forsberg.
Forsberg? Unfortunately, the answer is Salming.
Salming. Oh.
He played most of his career with Toronto and was inducted in '96. Ryan, this next question's kind of cool.
When the fuck did Forsberg retire?
When?
Oh, he retired like in the 90s. Oh, no,
yeah.
Okay.
Which Hockey Hall of Famer holds the NHL records for the most Stanley Cup championships? One as a player. Your options are...
Conor Mcdavid.
You said Henry, right?
Henry Mcdavid. Yeah. 11.
Yeah, you're
7.
right.
He won 6 more as a front office guy with the Habs, by the way.
You want to know why I like this question? Here are your options: John Beliveau, Butch Bouchard, Butch Bouchard, Henry Richard, and Maurice Richard.
Yeah.
Aren't those all just Habs players?
Oh.
I love it. I thought you would like that question. I didn't think you would get get the answer before I did, but you know what?
Butch Bouchard, by the way, is Emile Bouchard, who's a defenseman, but
I can give you one. By Butch. I can give you one more. These are Hockey Hall of Fame questions if you want.
All right. Can I ask? All right.
Last one I got. Which 2 longtime NHL teammates went into the Hall of Fame together in 2017? Your options are Andrew Chuck and Mark Ritchie, Paul Kariya,
Team Solani and Paul Kariya. Yeah.
Bingo! That was the answer. Yeah. Cool. Did you have one for me?
It's not Hockey Hall of Fame related, but Josh, I do have one question for you.
Is it gonna hurt my feelings?
Who was the first captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs? While you're answering that, I will search it up. Find the answer.
Oh God. Look, I think Tim Horton was a captain for a while. I don't know if he would have been the first guy. Like what? God. Can I at least know the year? Like, is it was it post
1917, 1918?
Okay.
Actually, here I'll make sure. That's the first one that's listed on Wikipedia.
How part of me wants to say Tim Horton or Red Kelly, but fuck.
I will find out in just a minute, Josh.
Was Red Kelly a captain? Well, obviously I was in the Lions. How could I remember?
I'm gonna say, yeah, it was 1917. You guys, I think that's when you guys joined the league. I don't think you guys were pre.
I think we were under a different name because the Leafs used to play with the St. Pat's name.
I think it would do in like Arenas era,
Oh, wait, yeah, that's also true.
which I believe also only started in 1917.
Hold on, I got a thing right here. Yeah, 1917 to 1918, they were the Arenas.
Yeah.
And then from 26 to something else, they were the St. Pat's.
Actually, I think 1917, 1918, they were the Toronto Hockey Club.
Well, they have the Arenas jersey. This board that I have, Ryan, actually shows like the jerseys and what year they were used in.
Cool.
I
so,
just
who's captain?
Ah, God.
Fine time.
I'm just gonna take. Man, like I kind of want to take a wild guess in the dark, but that just that. Red Kelly.
No, it wasn't.
Tim Horton. I don't know.
Also no, I don't think.
Because I was like Tim Horton's like too early. Like I'm trying to think of like a. God.
I don't think either of those guys were
Probably not.
team captains.
I thought that Horton was at one point. Maybe he was an assistant.
Yeah.
Fuck. You're gonna tell me I'm gonna be like, damn, I should have known that.
You're not.
Who is it? I have no idea.
His name is Ken Randall.
I would have never guessed that in a million years.
No.
Who? Hold on.
Yeah.
Who?
In fairness, if I didn't know who the Habs' captain was, I would never have guessed it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, Brass Bonanza is going in the background, so anyone
it was Jack Laviolette. Jack Laviolette.
Fair enough. Anyone
First
that
coach, captain, and GM.
Shout out to all the homies that made it this far. As always, I'm Josh. That's been Ryan. I don't know why I pointed the other way. That's been Ryan.
That's the logo. That's Josh.
Well, I went this way. I was like, that's me. I was like, who am I pointing at? I'm pointing at myself. Cool. Yeah. So that over there is Ryan. Ethan will hopefully be back next week, and he'll be down there. The logo will be under me probably, or under Ryan. Probably under me because it doesn't really go well with the red. You'd see it on the blue. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so yeah, as always, I've been Josh, that's been Ryan. Collectively, we have been off the boards, so all of our off the boards kooky and wacky takes. We will be back next week, and I hope y'all enjoy it, and we'll see you then.